What is up, fellow enemies of the fire? Here we are yet again with all of our picks, predictions, prognostications, every other alliteration word that I cannot think of this evening. I am FC Neo Tokyo. This is James. This is DPG. And gentlemen, let's run down match day 12's what's the word? Matches.
Match day 12
that just didn't sound
matches.
cool. That didn't sound cool.
Match day 12. First one on the docket. We got Orlando City versus Inter Miami. And Inter Miami, of course, dominated with a come-behind victory last week. So I guess it wasn't so dominant, but I mean, just they're asserting their dominance. They're just like, oh, you know, we could do it. We could do it any way we want. They're in first place in MLS, 8 wins,
Miami.
3 wins for Orlando.
Miami.
Yeah, it's in Orlando, dog.
Miami's got 4 wins on the road and 4 wins at home. Orlando has 1. It's not in Miami. It's at Orlando.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's in Orlando.
It's in Miami. Miami's got 1 win at home, 2 wins
Every
away.
stadium feels like it's in Miami. So it's
fair.
I want to start covering a few extra stats here, but goals for Messi's team tends to score about 2.7 goals. That's almost 3 goals a match, while Orlando's at 1.3, and they're giving up 1.8, which is almost 2 goals a match, while Messi's giving up 1.5 a game, which is almost 2 goals a match. Still outscoring the other team.
They have to outscore the competition. They don't.
they
don't defend.
Inter Miami for the win there for sure. I'll lock that in.
All right, so you two are just that hardcore Miami for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the cheat team from FIFA, World All-Star.
You're right. I completely agree.
What's
the next one, James?
What the fuck is Orlando gonna do? Hire Mickey Mouse?
No, there's no way. Orlando's gonna surprise you by the time the season's over.
Yeah, but not against Inter Miami. Upcoming next is Cincinnati versus Atlanta. It's gonna be at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's 7-3-2. Atlanta is 3-5. And really, the better team is obviously Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm ready to quit Atlanta. For some reason, I haven't been able to quit them all season, but I'm done. It's this smells of a Cincinnati win. They're riding high after beating Columbus. I'm calling Cincinnati.
Well, a couple other things to note here. Atlanta have no wins on the road. Cincinnati is not that good at home. Cincinnati has lots of wins on the road, 5 wins out of their 7 on the road. And then on top of that, average goals, Cincinnati has under 0.8 goals against, which means teams have not been scoring against Cincinnati. Tight defense.
Cincinnati.
1.3 goals for Cincinnati. Meanwhile, the other team, Atlanta, scores 1.5 goals a game, a little bit more, but they also give up a lot more, 1.3 goals a game. I'm going Cincinnati for the win here.
Speed it up, James.
I love this new auction. I love this new auction version that we have. Is like as soon as you're sold, you jump in.
You know why? You know why? Because these degenerates, they have no patience. They want to know the picks. They don't care about the stats. Give me the picks.
Oh,
no,
man.
Listen, everyone wants to hear about DC and New York Red Bull.
DC United is in 14th place. They're at home against New York Red Bull, who's in 6th place. New Red Bulls have 5 wins on the season. DC United with 4 wins on the season. 3 wins at home for DC, and Red Bull have 2 wins on the road. So that's what's relevant there. Average goals for DC scores just under a hair under what Red Bull scores, and Red Bulls is the better defensive team. I'm looking at a draw here. What are you guys thinking?
Oh, you call draw, huh? Interesting. DPG, where do you sit?
Gotta lean towards DC.
Oh, man, it's hard to bet against DC after Benteke scoring a hat trick, but I got New York. Draw is the smart money, so I'm gonna go with New York. I'm going with New York. This is they're a tough team.
Moving on to Montreal versus Columbus Crew. Columbus still trying to figure things out. They did not do it last week. Columbus is in 17th place. Montreal is in 22nd, so I mean they're not doing too well either. So they both have some things to figure out. But meanwhile, Columbus has 0 wins on the road. Montreal has 1 win at home. Average goals for Montreal is 1.4 to Columbus is 1.2. But defensively, Columbus is superior. They have 1 goal against versus 2 goals a game for Montreal. So Montreal is a sieve. Columbus doesn't score, but they also don't let you score. I'm predicting a Columbus Crew win here.
I will second that. It's time for that stat to change. Columbus gets their first win on the road.
I think it's gonna be a draw.
Okay, that's probably the smart money.
I like that call. Philadelphia Union taking on New York City FC. Philadelphia is 18th place. New York City is in 11th place, but they are away. They're going to be coming to visit Philadelphia. New York has 1 win on the road. Philly has 1 win at home. As for scoring, Philly is the better scoring team with almost 2 goals for a game versus New York City can't buy a bucket, barely over a goal a game. Defensively, Philly is a lot worse, 1.7 to 1.2 over on New York City side. So New York City, better defensive team, but worse offensive team. Philly, much better offensive team. Decent, comparable defensive team.
New York.
You're taking New York.
He's taking New York. You're buying low on the whole Philly collapse. You're on board that's happening quicker than people think.
Oh, it's happening quicker, man. The team is aging. It's out of its depth. It's no longer the same Philly from the past few years.
Yeah, but New York just got shook up. I call a draw on this. James, what do you think?
I'm actually going for Philly. I think that Philly takes it.
Oh, damn. Wild card.
This is a separator.
Boom. St. Louis City, who just beat the Fire last week, taking on LAFC. St. Louis is in 16th place with 3 wins. LA has 5 wins. They're on the road. Now, as for the trends, we're going to take a little closer look. LA has no wins on the road. All their wins come at home. St. Louis has 3 wins at home. That's all their wins. So St. Louis in a better position here. But when we look towards the goals, LAFC edges out St. Louis by about 0.2. They almost scores 2 goals a game versus St. Louis's 1.6. And defensively, LAFC is a little worse at 1.6 to St. Louis's 1.4. So I'm thinking St. Louis could pull this off, but it also could be a tie. What are you guys thinking? I'm going to listen to you.
You know what? I think LAFC is going to get the first road win.
Ooh,
man, DPG, we are of one mind today. I actually totally agree. I was just in St. Louis last weekend, and that place is rocking, but it's not a fortress, right? I can see a really seasoned and talented team like LAFC come in there and boss them up a little bit.
I'm looking at a tie or LAFC. I like that call, guys. I'll ride with you. I'll ride with you, LAFC, on the win there.
We're all about the road teams this week.
Oh, that's not a good sign. That's never a good sign. Chicago Fire taking on Charlotte FC, and I know which way the wind blows on this one. Chicago Fire currently in 28th place in all of MLS, 2 wins to their name. Charlotte have 5 wins. They're sitting in 12th place. It is at Soldier Field in Chicago. Chicago have an average of 1 goal for. And almost 2 goals against. Meanwhile, the other side has 1 goal for and 1 goal against. So Charlotte's a much better defensive team. But as they're both really bad offensively. Chicago's 2 wins all come at home. Charlotte has no wins on the road.
Let me ask you this. Is Klopas still hired?
We don't know.
Does Klopas still have a job tomorrow night?
I love the auction. Once you feel like you have enough information, you're like, you know what, Charlotte.
Is Heights still employed tomorrow night?
Listen, yes. Now, what I'll say is I appreciate where your brain is at. But listen, this game is going to come to a screeching, boring 0-0 halt. It is a 0-0 game. It is a draw.
It's either a 0-0 draw or Chicago, or do you really think Chicago Fire have it in them to get their nuts up for this game, or is Brant Bronico just gonna come in there with Charlotte and be like, let's just put this dog down?
Oh,
that's pretty much
scores a goal.
Yep, Brand Blanco scores the goal, and he goes to Section 8 and cheer in front of them.
All right, so
And celebrate.
Charlotte for their first
I'd celebrate with
road
him.
win. That goes against the statistics, but I'm looking at a tie. I'm looking at a tie there myself. I'll vote tie.
All right,
Okay.
perfect.
Nashville SC taking on Toronto, coming off the heels of that fight. Nashville have 2 wins on the season. They're 25th. Toronto have 6 wins on the season. They're in 7th place, but they are on the road here. In this case, they have 2 wins on the road. Meanwhile, Nashville's all 2 wins, all come at home. Nashville has not been so good at scoring goals. It's been 1.3, but you know who else has been scoring goals? Toronto. They both have 1.3 goals for. Defensively, Nashville is the worst. Nashville is the worst defensive team, but only by 0.3. It's 1.7 to 1.4. So Toronto's slightly better defensively, but Nashville is at home. I like Nashville.
I'll tell you why.
Do you really think that? Wait, so let's think about this.
Well,
I'll
hold
tell you
on.
why right now.
Before
What
you
about
guys
the
even
fight?
say this,
What about the fight?
Well, they're
That's what I was
decimated.
going to get to.
They're down Ricky Larea. They're down Prince of oh God, I apologize. They're down Sean Johnson and they're John Herdman.
They're down
the
Richie
coach.
Larea, Prince Awuwu, Sean Johnson. Oh yeah, they are down to quite a few people. But you know
Yeah,
what?
there's no way.
This is the type of game you rally, right?
Who's in goal?
Not without the
Johnson
milk,
has
yeah.
saved them.
Not without the milkman.
Yeah,
They're not
exactly.
going to win.
Not without
And
the
they're-
milk.
You know what? You know what? They're gonna come home. They're gonna regroup. You're right. Nashville gets a nice big home win here for the fans. I'm on board with that. Nashville for the win there. Moving on. This is crazy. All these games are all on Wednesday, guys. That's what's
This
so
is
crazy.
all Wednesday night.
This is nuts. Minnesota United take on LA Galaxy. That's our next game of the week here on match day. What is it, 12?
Yes,
13?
It is match day 12. No,
So-
Saturday will be 13.
All right, Minnesota United taking LA Galaxy. Minnesota is in 4th place with 6 wins. LA Galaxy is in 5th place with 5 wins. They are on the road here coming into Minnesota. Minnesota has 2 wins at home. LA Galaxy 3 wins on the road. Average goals for LA Galaxy edging out Minnesota 1.9 to 1.7. So almost 2 goals a game there for LA Galaxy. But as for goals against, Minnesota is locked down defensively, almost 1.1 goals against versus 1.6 for Galaxy. So Galaxy lets up a few more goals, but also scores a few. And Minnesota doesn't. I mean, they're both top of the league, top of the table right now.
LA Galaxy.
Minnesota's at home. We're really going to go for the away team again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was sold on this a long time ago. Dude, Reynoso is an absolute distraction. And he's back now, and he's supposedly doing preseason to then get cleared to go to the second team. Like, there's no way he plays again, and he's just a thorn in everybody's side. I'm telling you, LA comes in and bosses up. You're going to see this LA team turn into a real team by the time the playoffs
Do
roll
you
around.
really think LA Galaxy is going to come into Minnesota and get this dub?
They boss up.
Let me do one last check of the stats here, which is their road wins. Yeah, they do. They walk into people's places and they fuck them up. I mean, 3 wins versus Minnesota's 2
Ricky
wins.
Puge with that short man.
LA Galaxy's the big boys, but Minnesota knows that. I mean, like, with... Oh, man, this one, I'm torn. I'm actually super torn on this one. Who's the better defensive team?
He's waffling.
I am waffling. I haven't settled yet. The better offensive team is LA Galaxy. The better defensive team is
I wish we had the
Minnesota.
Jeopardy music.
I'm going to go Minnesota. I'm going to go Minnesota here. Minnesota for the win.
Oh,
Yep.
put him on the table, bro.
Minnesota takes it. I just did. Austin FC taking on Houston Dynamo next. Austin FC kind of recovering here. 15th place, 4 wins. Houston Dynamo in 13th place with 5 wins. They are on the road here visiting Austin. But, I mean, Houston ain't that far from Austin when all things considered, right?
Inter-Texas Derby.
So Houston 3 wins on the road, which is pretty darn good. Austin FC has 3 wins at home, though, which is pretty darn good. Austin FC is the better offensive team, 1.3 goals a game versus a full 1.0 game a game for Dynamo. Dynamo also 1.0 a game defensively. So they're rock solid defensively, really bad offensively. Meanwhile, Austin FC, kind of the same. They're just a little bit better in both places, 1.3 and 1.3. I'm going to give this win to Austin, clearly. Not clearly, but Austin.
Austin, what do you think, DPG? You got a feeling? Have you been struck by the Holy Ghost yet?
Houston.
Oh,
I call a draw on this
you
one,
are.
man. This is
I want this week to be we need to catalog all these weeks, but this one especially because DPG is heavy on the away favorites right now. On the away, Ryan
Always.
Houston.
You want to make money? Pick the away team.
But I mean,
Dude,
even Vegas has this up as a toss up between Dynamo and
they
Austin.
They do.
It's pretty surprising.
I call it a draw. You know, this is low key one of the better games of the day. This will be low key a pretty good game.
All right, 3 games left. We've been doing great. Real Salt Lake taking on Seattle Sounders. They're saying Seattle Sounders are back, baby. Real Salt Lake are in 3rd place, 6 wins on the season. They're at home. Seattle Sounders come to visit
Real Salt Lake.
Real Salt Lake. They have 3 wins on the season themselves, and for Seattle. If we dig in a little deeper, Seattle's 2 wins are coming on the road out of the 3, so they are good on the road. Meanwhile, Real Salt Lake really good at home. They got 3 wins at home. Goals wise, goal scoring, Real Salt Lake is the better goal scoring team and the better defensive team. 1.7 goals for versus 1.3 and 0.9 versus 1.2. So they are the better defensive team by 0.3 and they're the better goal scoring team by 0.4. I'm looking at Real Salt Lake to come in here and get the win at home.
That we are in agreement.
Yeah, RSL all the way.
Yep. That one I'm surprised took so long to come to a consensus.
I agree.
Seattle is not back. Real Salt Lake played well to a draw last week. We're looking at Salt Lake.
All right, let's close this out. We got 2 games left. Colorado Rapids versus Vancouver Whitecaps. Colorado have, of course, been doing, pretty darn good. I mean, 10th in all of MLS. That's upper echelon. That's not too bad. 5 wins on the season. Vancouver, though, are in 8th place. Also, 5 wins on the season, but Vancouver are the visiting squad here, and they might have been stopping by the shops in Colorado, if you know what I mean. But Vancouver does have 3 wins on the season, and they also have it legalized at home, so they could maybe just wait. Colorado, though, have 2 wins at home, and they're looking to make a 3rd. The better offensive team is Colorado, but it's only by a hair, by a fraction of a hair of a lamb's tail. 1.7 versus 1.6. And if we dig into the defensive stats, Vancouver, the visiting team, is the actual better defensive team, but only by about 0.3. 1.2 for Vancouver versus 1.5 goals against for Colorado. So this one, a little bit of a toss-up, could be a tie. And the better offensive team, like I said, was Colorado. They are at home. Defensive team is Vancouver, but these guys are both top of the tables, upper echelons. But is Colorado
Vancouver's
for real?
on the Vancouver's sliding down and Colorado's coming up. I feel like this is a game Colorado's going to kick themselves for not winning. It's going to be a draw.
I'll take Colorado for the win. I like that. I like how you
Colorado.
described that.
Colorado.
Oh, you're not?
Okay.
Are you sure, DPG? Check your temperature. I thought you were going to go away. Portland Timbers.
No, it's Colorado.
Portland Timbers versus San Jose Earthquakes for the final game of the week.
Bad soccer all around, baby.
Portland Timbers are in 27th place with 2 wins on the season. San Jose are in 26th place with 3 wins on the season. So, I mean, both abysmal, both right, very close to Chicago Fire. Portland has 1 win at home. San Jose has 1 win away. San Jose visiting Portland. I mean, it's not that far away for them to travel. The better offensive team is Portland by only a fraction of a breath's hair, 1.8 to 1.7 goals per. And then if we dig into the defensive statistics, they're both horrible. They're both bad. Portland, though, is just a little less bad at 2.1 goals against versus 2.3 goals against for San Jose. I think Portland either gets the win or the tie here is the clear looking result. What are you guys thinking? And then we'll seal this up.
MLS gonna MLS. San Jose wins this game.
Really?
Yep. MLS. Yep. San Jose is gonna take it.
Yes.
You don't think Portland pulls off a win at home against San
love
Jose?
I got him on board with that. I just feel like Portland's demoralized, man.
I'm taking
Seattle
Portland.
beat them.
I'm taking Portland here at home. I will take Portland.
Okay.
Easily.
We end on a little bit of some
Division?
questions.
Yeah,
That's fun.
Yeah, some division, some questions.
Not too shabby, but week 12 MLS predictions and picks in the books. Really excited about this one. And you know what we're gonna start doing? We're gonna go back and start counting these and get some picks, and we're gonna start tabulating these to see where everybody's lying.
That's already
right now.
started, by the way.
Let's
that
go!
process is already started.
So kick that like button. Let us know your picks in the bottom of the comments. We'd love to read your comments. We'll catch you guys in the next Enemies of the Fire picks and predictions, which is probably right after that, because I think there's games Saturday, right? So that'd be match day 13 already.
We'll see if we can get a video out for 13 for y'all.
Oh, we'll do our best. All right, guys.
We'll try.
Good luck, all you
degenerates,
and all you gamblers, all you happy
Stay safe
gamblers
out there.
Stay
Bet
safe
responsibly.
And remember, we are not experts, nor do we. We just know MLS, and we know MLS is gonna MLS.
We're just
right?
idiots who like to have fun and talk soccer.
And we know
just
nothing.
leave it at that.
All right, we will catch you on the next one. Have a great one. See you guys later.